Welcome everybody. It is Monday. It is January 31st. Can't believe it's already the 31st, but here we are, and we will start with an update from our town administrator, Jim.
Well, good morning. Beautiful Monday out there, a little cold, but nice and sunny. We're going to start with the COVID numbers. We have some good news in our COVID numbers. Our MAVEN number, which is the number that's officially reported from testing sites and doctors, was 48 this week. That's down from 94 of last week. Although we need to be a little bit cautious. That includes a 0 number from Saturday. Obviously, no one got out and got tested on Saturday, but that maybe would have been added 15 or 20 to that number. So we are still down significantly from 94 of last week. Also, our percentage positive is down. Percentage positive, we are at 16.50, down from 21.05 of last week. Plymouth County is at 19.82, down from 24% of last week. And the state is down at 8.92, down from 13.9. The total number for the town, as reported to the Board of Health, was 278, down from 466. So last week, the numbers were kind of all over the place. State was down, local numbers were up. This week, the numbers are trending down all across the board. We're seeing that statewide. We're seeing that in hospitalization. So that is good news that those numbers are trending in the right direction. However, we still do ask and encourage everyone who has not been vaccinated to be vaccinated. Anybody who is eligible for a booster and has not received one, please go out and get your boosters. They're easy to get. Marshfield, I think, is going to be closed for a couple of days, but you can still get boosters. And anyone over the age of 11 is eligible for a Pfizer booster. So please go out and get boosted. They do work. They do help keep people from getting seriously ill if they do get COVID. So numbers going in the right direction. We hope that keeps up. We're still working on the Widows Walk Clubhouse. We're putting the flooring back down. We put those bids back out last week. We've had a couple of people who are very interested in that. They've already come in. They're taking a tour. So we are feeling a little bit better that maybe we'll be able to get that bid awarded and get someone in there. Might lag a little bit for the start of the golf season, but by the time the height of the golf season is up and running, we do expect to have someone in there and running that. The Charter Review Committee had to postpone their Zoom meeting on Saturday this past week, so that has been rescheduled to next Saturday, February 5th at 1 o'clock. That is a Zoom meeting. The link will be available on the town website, and the charter revisions proposed is also currently available on the town website. Would be remiss today if we didn't thank the DPW crews, all the police and firefighters and first responders, and our emergency management team that worked this weekend in that storm. That was probably the most challenging storm I've seen in my career. The high winds, the amount of snow, the blowing snow, and the tides really made it an all-around complicated situation. At one point on Saturday, we were going to take the crews off the road because the blowing and drifting snow was getting so bad, the visibility was so bad. The crews would plow down the street, and then 5 minutes later, it looked as if they hadn't plowed because of the blowing and drifting snow. At the same time they were working, we had police and fire on, we had additional crews on, we had our emergency high water crews on. Thankfully, we did not have to make any water rescues or have any storm-related injuries, but they were there, they were working all day, they were responding to calls, so they did a fantastic job. And your emergency management team, police, fire, DPW, and everybody else, really on top of things. I think they did a good job getting the message out, letting people know what was going on. And we don't do this too often, but I think we need to thank National Grid. We had, at the height of the storm, we had over 1,200 homes without power. Most of those were back on before the night was over, and all the towns in Scituate proper were back on by noontime on Sunday. So they did a really good job in challenging conditions also. So tough weekend for everybody, but once again, the Scituate team stepped up. They did a fantastic job, and I want to thank them for that. Unfortunately, I have to ask a favor from people. I know you're sick and tired of shoveling and cleaning things up, but the weather forecast now is for some melting over the next couple of days. There was also rain in the forecast for the end of the week. So that's going to lead to some icy conditions at night when that water freezes back on the road. So please be careful over the next couple of days when you're out driving later on at night and in the daytime. But we ask, if you have the chance, to please go out and clear the storm drains in front of your house to try to drain that water off the street and help us with the icing. Crews will be out trying to do the best they can, but they're not going to get to all of them. So if you have a storm drain in front of your house, if you can get out and maybe shovel that out, that would be awesome. The other thing we'd ask is, if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house or in front of your neighbor's house, then maybe you and your neighbors get together and shovel out that fire hydrant We all know how important time is in responding to an emergency. We don't want crews to have to lose time shoveling out a fire hydrant. So please, if you could do that, that'd be great. And on a personal note, I know how important shoveling out the fire hydrants is. I want to thank Scituate Fire and Norwell Fire for their response Saturday night to a small fire at my house. They were fantastic. They came in. Again, the conditions were awful, windy, blowing, but they were able to come in. They found out what was causing the smoke and the fire. They got it knocked down in record time without a lot of damage to my house. So I really want to thank them, and you can be assured that when I get home today, I will be making sure that the fire hydrant in front of my house is shoveled out just in case I ever need it again. So thank you to Scituate Fire, Norwell Fire, and that's what I have for today.
That's great. Thank you. A couple of quick meetings for folks to know about tomorrow. The select board meeting via Zoom, 6:30, discussing the budget. DPW budget is on there, so if people want to chime in, tomorrow's the time. And also on Thursday, two important meetings, both the advisory committee and the Shark, or the Pier 44, both at 7 o'clock via Zoom. You can get the link on the town website. And now I'll turn it over to our superintendent. Our kids are in school, so thank you. Excellent. Very happy about that.
Thank you, Mr. Goodrich. Thank you, Mr. Goodrich, and good morning, everyone. We are extremely happy, and I think it is in line with what Town Administrator Boudreau said. Just want to start off with a huge shout out to the town employees that worked through the weekend while folks were home. The emergency management committee that met to organize, it was very thoughtful. It was very well planned. We were ready. And as a reflection, we're in school today where our kids are safe. They're warm, they're being fed, they're being educated. So it's the best place for our children to be. And I want to give a heartfelt shout out to our town officials, Mr. Boudreau, the chiefs of fire, police, and there's too many to name, but our own custodial team, our transportation teams working over the weekend to get our buildings ready. And they all said the same thing to me. We couldn't have done it without the town's cooperation. So there's a lot of teamwork going around. So really a great, and the outcome is that kids are safely in school today. So I just want to give everyone a heartfelt shout out for that, and thank you. It's a good feeling. So I'll jump into our health and safety, our COVID numbers, similar to what Mr. Boudreau had explained. Our numbers are also trending downward, which is a great sign. Last week in the schools, we had 40 cases. The week before that, we had 75. In the week before that, we had 187. And in January 6th, we had 174. So we've we saw a considerable surge similar to what we've seen over the last few years in January, post holidays. And now we're seeing what we've seen in the past, the spike coming down. We're cautiously optimistic, and we'll continue to vigilantly look at those numbers and report those out to our community. We've also been reporting out our vaccination rates to our community monthly. There is, once a school reaches 80% vaccination rate, which our high school has, we are able to move to a mask optional, or what we call mask flexible opportunity that the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has enabled school districts to do. I believe there's only 4 or 5 in the state that have done so. We'll be moving to that shortly. There'll be a correspondence coming out for me this week. I believe our middle school is up to close to 77%. So they'll soon have that option as well. And our elementary schools are all trending in that way too. So very proud of the town and the families for getting those vaccinations, which will allow our students to have and parents to make the decisions to go mask flexible should they choose to do so. In the individual cases, just to share with our community, in the this past week of the 40, they were broken down by 1 at the district level, 6 cases at Cushing, 14 at Gates, 2 at Hatherley, 4 at Jenkins, and 9 at the high school, and 4 at Wampatuck. And finally, just some upcoming events to put on your calendar. I'll be out having a second of my Seaside Chats to listen to our community and have conversations with the superintendent, checking on how things are going, how we can support our families, students, and community members with our schools. That'll be February 10th at the Senior Center. There'll be 2 opportunities. There'll be one at 1:30 and one at 6:30 in the evening. Correspondence will be going out to the community on that. Flyers will be sent out, but just wanted to give you the verbal there. Hope you can make it. And then our next school committee meeting is February 7th, where I'll be updating folks on the state of the district, We'll get off some of the COVID stuff and we'll talk about what's happening this first half of the school year in academics and other focuses on social emotional learning, a lot of other great things happening at the district level. So hope you can make that. If you can't, obviously that will be taped and available on our website. And finally, some upcoming important budget meeting reminders. It is budget season, extremely important. It's a reflection of our values in the district. There'll be a school committee budget workshop open to the community. I believe that will be via Zoom on Saturday, February 12th at 9 a.m. And the official school committee budget hearing will be on Thursday, February 17th at 6 p.m. That'll be a independent meeting, not decided this year to take that independent of the typical school committee meeting. So that's a standalone meeting because we felt that the budget isn't that important that we'll have it on a Thursday evening, February 17th at 6 p.m. Again, correspondence will be following, but I wanted to give that advance notice to our community. Have a great week, everybody, and stay safe. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I'm going to go check the storm drains, make sure I can clear that are on the street. So with that, have a great week, everybody.